Hello and welcome back. We've got the great Hornby Railways 9F here from the early 70s, introduced as part of the Silver Seal range of models. So we'll have a quick glance at that in the catalogue in a moment. We've got some ore wagons behind it from a little bit earlier. These are all got Mark II style couplings on. I believe these wagons come from around 1958. So I'm just going to grab the controls. As you can see, I've got a number of wagons and red cardboard boxes out here. So let's grab the controls. And next time around, we'll bring this to a stop just by the red cardboard boxes. So it's an absolutely gorgeous looking model, this. I think in the catalogue they describe it as the not so glamorous version of the Evening Star. So, but a hard-working heavy freight locomotive. I think it's just such a lovely item. Those bright wheels with the black bodywork. It doesn't have all that sort of bright, shiny plastic parts on it like the Evening Star does. If you have a look at the insert picture, we'll just get that to a stop just there. So excuse me while I get rid of the controls for a second. So we'll just have a quick look at these ore wagons. Actually, what I want to do is try and uncouple one of these. I've lost my triangle uncoupler at the moment, which is probably more suited to these older couplings, maybe. Let's see if I can get that. It's not quite big enough, perhaps. There we go, I've got it. Don't know whether we're retaining focus here. Let's get this one. I just want an example of these. So whilst these have got the operating door on the bottom of them, I'm not making a very good job of this at all. There we go. Whilst these have got the operating door on them, I've had to put them on the railway this way around. If you look at the insert picture there, you'll see that they all got tangled up with the station earlier in the week, and some of the doors opened, got jammed in the track. So we've had to put them on the way around we see them running on the railway, otherwise these interfere with the edge of the platform on that 00 station. So let's have a quick look at this. So this, what they're calling an ore wagon. Actually, we've got some more boxes for these over here. We can look at the ends. These ones are R.214. I've been cleaning these up for a while. This came along in 58. You know, have a look at that great picture of the catalogue there, the 1958 catalogue, and you've got it with the grain wagon, which both wagons share the part of the same bodywork. And just while we're at it, let's have a look at the brake van there. We've got R.114 long wheelbase brake van, and we'll have a closer look at that model. Actually, let's just have a look at it now. I know I'm going to get really distracted here. So there we go. So that's a long-running model. Unfortunately, my memory, I can't remember the date of it. Let's just grab the book here and see if we can have a look. So R.124 WR brake van, long wheelbase, 1955 to 70 in versions of that. There was a grey one in the early 70s with GW on the side. If you look at the insert picture there, so also quite a smart looking wagon. This is an early one, and it's got those pressed steel sort of running boards along the side. There was a later metal chassis for this, and then it went to a plastic chassis as well. So gorgeous item that. And we'll just pop that back down on the rails there. I'm not sure how well I'm doing with that. Yeah, let's get back to these wagons here. So this one was sold as the ore wagon, and I think again I'm forgetting the dates here, 58 to 63. So that graduated to having the Mark III style couplings on it there. So, and also it gained a black panel. If we see this one here, it doesn't have a slightly different arrangement of the signage or the writing on the side of the model there. It stands out more with the black panel, isn't it? And the grain wagon, which has ladders on the ends. Actually, we'll look at the green one, because I think the green one came along first. See, it has the ladders on the ends. Rather nice thing. This is it's got the operating door on the bottom of it. And it's got this lovely roof with these hatches which open, which I think that's a really nice feature. So I don't know whether that one comes off, does it? Yeah, there we go. This one will come off. We'll have a quick look at that. Lovely piece of moulding. We've got see if we can get the light on that and the focus. So we've got built in Britain and Triang R.214/1. Let's see if I can get that in an area where we can really see it. Possibly not. It's very, very difficult to get that to. There we go. I think we can see that there. So I think that was rather lovely. And it's got those little cutouts on it to accommodate the ladders which just hang over the edge of it. I think that was quite a lovely thing there. So we'll pop that down there. So the ore wagon sharing the same base. And we're seeing that there. And it's very bright when we look there. These are in varying degrees of condition. I think if you look closely on the video, you will see some of these are missing some of these little upright parts there. That's a case there. See, but you don't see them from arm's length, and they make up quite a nice rake. We'll just disappear that one while we're at it. So that wagon is a sort of really interesting wagon that came along, and I think probably Triang may be copying Hornby 00 or Hornby 00 copying Triang. I don't know which one came first. Both of the wagons came along in '58, so that's the 00 version. So it's got some lovely detail, all made in plastic. Look at this sort of braking detail on around the wheels, that pressed steel part. Let's have a look at the base of that. Gorgeous, great big large screw through the bottom. All plastic wheels. So must have been with a view for running on the 2-rail perhaps at some point. So again, this one has the hatches and the ladders. There we go. So I don't think the hatches, for some reason I thought those hatches were operational, but they're not. They don't slide. So that Triang model scores again there, doesn't it? With the operating hatches, the colour of the plastic on the top part there is slightly different. The bottom part has yellowed, and we do get the rather gorgeous ladders plugged into both ends. Quite a nice feature. Lovely box though, and they've gone to the trouble of putting that illustration on the box. Super detailed model. Now, fairly sure this came along in '58. 2 or 3 rail running. There we go. So beautiful item. So this wagon sort of transferred through the range a bit into the early 60s. So it became R.347. So we've got 63 to 68 with this, the engineers department. So again, the operating base in it there, but an interesting variation. Let's just have a look at the end of that box while we're at it. It's always nice to have a look at this. So you've got effects of sellotape there. Lovely window box. It's survived fairly well. Cardboard insert on the inside of that box. So yeah, I've got a handful of those. And then this one, same wagon, same model number, 347 engineering department wagon. But there's no operating door in the bottom of that one. It's completely blank. It's filled in. Plastic insert in the packet here. We've got an interesting price as well. So it's in a slightly sort of deep green colour, that one, rather than these ones are in black. So there's a clear story coach, isn't there, which was made up engineering department coach. It's available in black and also in the deep green. And then the wagon changed again. So we're going into the 1970s here, 74, 75-ish. It crops up again in this sort of Concert Iron Company Limited, in this sort of deep reddy maroon colour, again with the operating door in the bases. It's all blacked out this time, so it's all not shiny metal. So what model number were we here? So we've got this early 70s box, R.214, so it's sharing the same model number, price of £1.45 there. Concert Iron Company with operating door. And then it moves into the late 70s and 1980s with this one. We've got not steel wheels, but metal rims on the wheels. I don't know whether we call these silver seal or not, but they're certainly a lot freer running. And again, I think we've got the same wording on the side of the wagon, just in that sort of deep bottle green. But yeah, they were made up into the 1980s, and there could be several. Right back into the 50s, there was some very interesting, if you have a look at the insert picture there of the 58 catalogue, an operating ore bridge. We had it on the last railway from the 70s version. Again, if you have a look at the great late 70s catalogue image there, really exciting things. But I decided on this layout we wouldn't probably go down that route because it takes up a lot of space and you don't use them that often. Now there was another hopper style wagon, and it looks a little bit like this. So it was R.214. Now I do have a box for it. If you look at the insert picture there, you can see the wagon, and it was based around the whiskey wagon. So strangely, I have two of these grey wagons, which you can see the picture of there, but I can't find them. This is an empty box, and I bought this as an empty box. That's sort of burning out quite a lot. R.214 hopper wagon. It's quite a large looking wagon. It took me ages to get the wagons, and it's in one of those sort of window. So they're in the window boxes. Have a look like this. It's like this plate wagon. This one. I came across this when I was searching for it, but in a box like that with the R.214. Again, that would have been available early 70s, perhaps late 60s, early 70s, and this is a early 70s variant of it in black with Roberts on the side. I think this is 72 to 74-ish, so no operating door by the time we get there, but it shares the same base actually. Let's just grab this other box again, sorry for leaning down there. I think the base on that wagon, this plate wagon, is the same basic chassis as in use here, and on the Johnny Walker wagon here. Of course, there were Trix versions of these first in the late 60s. So I did have a video with some of those in quite some time ago. But I think they used that chassis for a few different items. It's an interesting size of box for the wagon. So if you look at that, Johnny Walker bulk grain wagon, R648. So what was my dating on that one? 72 to 73. But I thought that would just be sort of quite interesting to have a look at those. Excuse me, I'll just grab this catalogue, and we'll have a swift look at how this wonderful locomotive. There we go. There's the box. Too many things out, nowhere to put anything. So we've got those Silver Seal steam locomotives there. So I think we've seen a number of these on the railway, although I haven't run that one for a long time, the Oliver Cromwell. So R.550, BR210 loco, black livery. You can see that shiny Silver Seal sticker there. Not a great deal on it, and it is just white polystyrene. I can't get the lid off. There we go. White polystyrene. I don't have any of the instructions for this model, sadly. It just lives in the polystyrene like that. So I thought it'd just be interesting to have a look. We'll just grab hold of this catalogue and we'll get it open to the correct page. And there we've got the Silver Seal steam locomotives, and this is the one in question, R.550 210 Class 9 Heavy Freight Locomotive, built to a similar specification to the Evening Star. This model represents one of the less glamorous but equally hard-working members of this famous class. So it is fairly filled in. It's not just the video. There isn't a great deal of detail in this particular image. It's all filled in there. It hasn't kept the information very well. But I think what we'll do, we'll get everything sort of tidied away. Too many things out, and really don't know where that wagon is. I remember getting them because it took me ages to find them, and I was so pleased to get them. And they're not in the boxes with the other wagons from a similar period. I've obviously sort of stuffed them away into something completely unrelated, which is making them very, very difficult to find. Let me just grab the controls and we'll just give this 9F a little bit of a run, just while we haven't got anything hooked up to it, and then we'll get that lot tidied up, and we'll see if we can get it onto the outside line. So isn't that gorgeous? I'm not going to pick it up and handle it because it's permanently coupled. It has the 6 traction tyres. If you have a look at the insert picture there, you can see all of the traction tyres on the base of it there. And right along, it's got all those pickups on those plated drive wheels. Really lovely item. Let's give that a little power, and we'll just run that back to where we just came from. Just listen to this run, really nice. That slight purr from the motor. And it's been really well behaved on all of this old Series 3 track work. I think they must have done quite a bit of development with the wheels, thinking that, well, certainly people are going to have Super 4 still in action when this came onto the market. Well, the original Evening Star version of the model, and so it had to cope with quite a lot. So I imagine there's still quite a lot of Series 3 round at the time. So I think we'll just back that back around before we bump into something, because I can see out of the corner of my eye I've left the notepad in the way there. With the following day now, I've got everything sort of tidied up. So we'll just have a quick look along the rake of wagons there. And then if we look down there, we've got the sort of piles of boxes and things there, all waiting to go back away in the relevant storage boxes. But I think the plate wagon, we'll keep that out, and I've got a couple more of those. We'll get that out with something that looks quite pretty with it. I think that'll be a good excuse to try some different wagons out. So that's the trouble, you have all these things hiding away in boxes, and you keep forgetting about stuff. Let's give this a bit of power. I've got the points set up, so we should work our way around to the outer line. Let's just keep an eye on this. Effortless moving away. Slight purr from the motor, and a sort of rattle from the wagons as they roll over the point work. And we'll take the edge off the speed as we come to this set of points just outside the 00 station here. I'm going to keep an eye on all of those couplings at this point, because this is the point, I think, where we're probably more at risk than anywhere else, where we keep changing direction, as well as the crossover. I think we'll pull this up to the station, and then ooh, there we go. We just lost one, didn't we? Well, not one. We've lost the last 3 wagons and the brake. There we go. So we've got the 3 wagons and the brake van now. We'll just pull this into the station. Nice gentle stop there. So sunlight's beginning to come out. It's been raining most of the afternoon. So let's get the point. So I think what we want is that one. So we want to make that one straight, and that one. I don't think we'll be coming back onto the inside line today, but it's always good to try and tidy up behind yourself, he says. Look at the state of the room. So let's give this a little power, and we'll see if we can get this a nice gentle run around the railway and get some interesting views of it. We'll see how that sort of settles out. And we'll come up and have a look at that as it comes around the railway there. It sounds like we still all have the wagons. I can look over my shoulder. Yeah, we have them. And ideally everything is left where it was. I think we're just beginning to pick up a little bit of pace here now. So let me see if I can just take the edge off that. There we go. Let's have a look inside those wagons. I think we'll just catch that brake van as it rolls into the tunnel there. I think that looks quite impressive, that black freight locomotive and all those ore wagons. I don't have so many of the grain wagons. I thought I had a few more. I think I just have 3 of them. So it'd be nice to keep a lookout for those. I think that the colour, the green grain wagons, looks quite nice. Maybe one day. I think if this seems fairly well behaved like this, let's see if we can get the Hornby 008F out over there, which has got the meat wagons. So I'm just putting a set of controls down behind me, and we just need to actually we need to attend to that point there and grab the other controls. So we've got some tin plate wagons on the end there, and those wagons there with a hook in the top, they're sort of like a wooden block with a paper sort of lining printed on the outside. So let's see if we can give this a little power. Now I'm going to bring this round under the window, and then I'll turn back around and I'll close the points behind it, otherwise we'll have a serious derailment. Let's see if I can catch the 00 train in the corner by the windmill as it comes around. We'll just get a stop there, put the controls down for a second. We'll just catch up with the 9F over here with the ore wagons. I'll use this as an excuse to change the points on the 00 while we're at it. It's all looking good so far, so I think as that comes around there, let's see if I can just give this 00 train just a little power. We'll just see if we can have the once around before we should probably call it a day. Such a completely different feel, the response on the controls. I think I've said that before. There we go. So we'll just let that trundle off into the background and see if we can have one last glimpse, I think, of the 9F before we go. It does sound like it's picked up some power. Actually, I'm going to whiz round here and see if we can catch up with this. Yeah, this has definitely picked up a little pace. Let's just see if we can stay with that for a moment or two. I can hear the 00 train just to my right here at the moment. Are they all going to pass each other on in a nice manner? Yeah, this is looking quite nice. But I think that's probably it for today. Thanks again for looking in. If you look back again next time, we'll try and have something else interesting to look at. Goodbye now.